My Octavia VRS 2015 model. It's a 2 litre TSI petrol engine. The water pumps failed on the car, so I've got myself a kit. The pump, drive belt, new bolts and a gasket. Gasket goes on the back of there. So the pump on the engine, I think it's failed on this bursting disc here. So there seems to be water coming from this area. It's either that or the seal that seals the rotating shaft, but I don't see any water getting on the belt. So I think it's that bursting disc. So this pump fits in that orientation around about there in the engine, and it's mounted on a plastic body, which is the thermostat. So I need to get access to all these cover screws and take the old one off and put this new one on. So far in the engine bay I have removed the air intake box, the engine cover, the air intake box. I've loosened off the radiator fan, and that's just there at the moment. I'm going to take that out from under the engine and then drop the coolant into a bucket, and then I'm going to take off this plastic pipe here. This is compressed air from the turbo. It goes down and goes down there and goes into the intercooler. So it's just 3 bolts, I think, and that'll come off, and that'll give me access into there where the water pump is, behind this mass of things. Okay, so this turbo pipe, it's just 2 screws, one here, one down there. Undone it with a T30, and then at the back, just there, it's just a Jubilee clip, so that's undone. So it's all come loose now, so I'm just going to feed that through and draw it out. Okay, so the pipes just hang in there out of the way, and there's the water pump, drive belt. So the water pump's driven via the drive belt off a tooth sprocket on the engine over there, and this aluminium facing here is the water pump. And I can see evidence here of water leaking down. Okay, but just to undo that, I'll drop the water off first and then undo that pump and take it out. Okay, so I've got a bucket positioned under this corner here, and so just off the radiator is a stub pipe and a pipe connected, and there's a metal spring clip that I used this pick to draw the spring clip across, and now I'm going to pull the pipe off the stub pipe and water will leak out. So the pipe's removed, hanging in a bucket, and I had to also disconnect the electrical connector on it. I think that's a temperature sensor. There. Right, so I've just slid the drive belt off the pulley there, and now I'm going to use a T30 4-inch drive to undo the bolts. So although I've drained the radiator down, it wasn't enough to empty the thermostat and pump housing of water, so when I've cracked off the first couple of bolts on the pump, I've had more water coming out. Just to give me slightly better visibility, I've unclipped these 4 plugs here. 1, 2, 3, 4. They unclipped quite easily. And just to allow me to see the pump a bit better. So I've just spoken about undoing these plugs here from this socket unit. This socket unit here, and it's in the way. This socket unit's in the way. So underneath it, there's a bolt with a T27 head on it. So I'm going to undo that. Undo this here and get it out of the way. I've loosened off the pump, but it's sort of held captive by this. So I've undone 1 screw, which is there. But it's still fixed in place, and I can feel there's another screw deeper in, so I've got to undo that next. Removing this socket is really fiddly. This second screw right at the back is very, very concealed, so I'm trying to do it blind. Just to give me a little bit more access, I've undone this hose and this hose on the coolant system. So just used pipe clamp to undo the metal spring clip, and just pulled the hoses off these 2 plastic pipes here, just to give me better access and better view. And I'm just using the quarter-inch drive with a load of extensions on it and the T27 on the end. It's important to get this done because I can't pull the the pump body far enough forward to release it. So on the back of the pump body is the impeller, so I need to pull it so the impeller clears the engine block and releases. Okay, I've done it. So that's the 2 screws, and here is the socket, and that's now loose and out of the way, and behind is the pump. There we are. Pump and impeller at the back, gasket. Okay, now to put it all back together with the new pump. So the next thing to do is not fit the pump. The next thing to do is to remove the belt, and it doesn't come off easily. It's captive by the drive pulley, so the drive pulley needs to come off. I think it's a left-hand bolt, so I need to do a quick bit of research to make sure it's a left-hand bolt. So I'm going to end the video here, and I'm going to YouTube and find out what kind of thread is on that bolt. I think it's left-hand. So this is part 1. I'll continue with the rebuild tomorrow and do a part 2.